All right, hello and welcome. This is step 2 of joining this group. Step 1, if you haven't already done it, go ahead and go back to the post. It is the welcome post, and that post is going to show you and rather instruct you how to do your introduction and share a little bit more about yourself with the group, which is a big first step. So that's step 1. This is step 2, and this is just a quick video to give you an understanding, a basic high-level zoomed out overview of what your journey might look like here in this group coaching container, if you would. And like it says in the caption, this is what you could expect regardless of what your goal is or goals are. So for example, if you're here to lose weight, if you're here to gain weight, maybe you're underweight, if you're here to build muscle, if you're here to tone, which we all know is just lose fat and build muscle. Maybe you don't know that, but there you go. Or if you're here to just like improve your relationship with food or improve your digestion and you don't really care much about like building muscle or losing any fat, whatever your goal is, this is what you can expect, okay? And as I mentioned in my voice memo, depending when you're watching this video, as I mentioned in my voice memo in our group chat, this is the best way for you to raise your hand and get like extra coaching so that you get the most out of being in this group rather than this just being a passive thing that you're not engaged with, right? Based on, I'm going to share like what you can expect as far as your overall journey. And then it's really on your shoulders, unless you're one of my one-on-one clients or one of the other trainers one-on-one clients. If you're just a group client, it really is on your shoulders to raise your hand and be like, hey coach, I'm ready for the next step. Like, we're not going to chase you down and tell you what you should be doing. It's your job to come to us and be like, hey, I feel like I have this nailed down. Like, can we set a goal for this coming week, right? Okay, now that we got that out of the way, here's typically what you can expect. And everyone's gonna start maybe in different parts, depending on where you're at or what habits you currently have or don't have, right? Generally speaking though, everyone is going to start at the base of the pyramid. So I like to think of your health and fitness journey, body recomp journey, as a pyramid. So at the base of that pyramid is movement and hydration. So when one-on-one clients start working with me, one of the very first things that I assess and I ask them is, okay, how many steps are you getting per day? And if it's less than 10,000 steps per day, then we make a plan on how to baby step our way to increase those steps. So that is phase number 1 of your journey. If you are not hitting 10,000 steps, we've got to come up, or you've got to come up with some creative ways to start sneaking some more steps into your into your day. Even if that means that you take one less workout per week, just so you can hit your 10,000 steps, or let's take it into bite-sized pieces. So maybe step number 1 is to make sure you know how many steps you're getting. And if you don't know, find a way to track it, whether you're someone who holds your phone wherever you go, which I really dislike tracking that way because I don't want to have to be glued to my phone. So I typically use my Apple Watch, but you can they have really cheap Fitbits that just like clip on to like your bra or like your pant, seam. And then you can get an accurate read of like your average steps, right? So once you have your average steps, maybe you're gonna set your goal for 8,000, right? Or if you're only walking 4,000, your first goal might be 5,000. You get the idea. That's the first phase. Then we move on to hydration. I pretty much automatically drink about 1 gallon of water a day. You're gonna wanna drink like half your body weight in ounces per day. So that would be the next phase, next thing to tackle. And then the next part of your journey would be sleep quality, food quality, and micronutrients before we look at macronutrients. What's the difference between micro and macro? So micronutrients are basically vitamins and minerals. And food quality is another way to say micronutrients truly. If you're focusing on good food quality 80% of the time at least, then you're going to be getting those micronutrients in. You're going to be getting those vitamins that are crucial to just feeling okay throughout your day. So that's another place you can start is like, hey coach, you know, I'm getting my 10K steps in. I feel like I'm hitting my water goal. Now I want a little bit of coaching on how I can improve my food quality. Here's an example of what I eat typically day to day. What are your suggestions, right? So that would be your next phase and how you would get the most out of this group coaching experience if that's where you're at. And then likewise with sleep quality. Just basically my best advice, clients that get the best results in these types of environments, one-on-one or group, is by being vocal and asking the most questions. One of my favorite sayings is closed mouths don't get fed. So please open your mouth, be real about where you're at so that you can get that feedback and so that you can get those little mini suggestions, because that's what's going to get you results. And then the second part, the next phase in your journey, or the next part of the next step in the pyramid, is the macros and the strength training. So once you've gone through the first two phases, you can, say, hey coach, can you, point me to a tool that explains a little bit more about protein and examples of how to hit my protein and how to figure out what my protein should be. And then, same thing with like strength training. I'm a big proponent in progressive overload training. So if you need, resources in what that is, look on your cheat sheet, which is step 3 of your onboarding into this group. And that's going to give you an at-home or gym program to follow. So that's a great next step if you've already mastered the first 2 phases. And then, we don't do a lot of like one-on-one coaching for macronutrient sample day of eating. So if you get to that phase and you want to explore one-on-one coaching, or even get like a one-time macro plan with support for at least 2 weeks, you'll find that really helpful, because trying to learn macros and doing that part on your own can be really difficult in my personal experience. Okay, and frustrating. Okay, then the last part of your journey that you can expect is cardio/supplements. So that's really like the icing on the cake, the sprinkles on the cake, however you want to put it, which might be very different than what you expected. Almost all trainers I've worked with have never assigned cardio to me. All they've done is assigned strength programs to me and step goals. And that's because in the times I was working with them, I was able to get enough results and make enough progress without adding in additional cardio. And when I say additional cardio, the only cardio I was really doing was anytime I'm like teaching group fitness classes. Other than that, that was pretty much it. So you don't really need a lot of cardio. It's great for heart health, but especially if you're a woman in perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, just a woman in general trying to figure out your hormones. It doesn't matter what age you are, whether you've had a baby or not. It's like you can overdo it with the cardio. So we want to save that for like when we're getting really, really close to our fat loss goal, or if fat loss isn't your goal, you would be doing it more because for like that heart health. And it's usually like 15-minute hit, nothing crazy, right? So that's going to be most friendly to your metabolism for most folks. And we don't want to get into a place where you're overtaxing your metabolism/adrenals, where your body's holding on to excess fat because you are just actually exhausted at an adrenal level from too much cardio. So that's kind of a high end overview of what to expect throughout your journey. Like I said, that is the best way to start, from that foundational piece, just an overview. That's going to be your movement, your overall steps throughout the day, your hydration. The next part of the pyramid is sleep quality, food quality, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals. The next phase is going to be macronutrients, carbs, protein, fat, and strength training, progressive overload, picking up weights, resistance training, which also can be done with body weight. But getting the tension, time under tension on all of your muscle groups. And then the icing on the cake, the sprinkles on top, is a little bit of that HIIT cardio for a healthy heart and maybe supplements depending on your goals. So that is what you can expect. It's on your shoulder if you're part of group coaching to raise your hand and say that you need help with X phase. And you'd like to set some goals around that. So do your check-in forms every single week if you really want those results, and please feel free to post any questions you have after watching this. All right, talk to y'all soon. Bye.